Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the German Empire in Kaiserreich. And today we're picking where we left off. So, let's read this. Matters of national stability. In his first speech before the Reichstag, Chancellor Schleicher announced that the first and biggest priority of his government will be to contain the economic crisis caused by the Black Monday market crash. To this end, he spoke out against orthodox economists and their agendas, by stating that the most crucial step to take is a war against unemployment. Stability in the financial markets, management of imperial debt, they are all important, but they cannot be more important than the millions of yearning masses thrown out of their jobs during the course of the past few months. Job creation and a war on unemployment, those were the slogans of the hour, popular with the people who demanded quick solutions to their personal economic issues. Already, the new Reichskanzler has been in contact with like-minded officials such as Fritz Starnow and Fritz Bade, who have been developing an unemployment-based recovery plan with the aid of the ADGB Trade Union Confederation, or potentially even the famous Walter von Rathenau, who has developed a complex scheme for full reform of the German economy along state control lines during the Weltkrieg. However, that was not the controversial event of the day. With the Reichskanzler's backing, the first law of the cabinet was proposed in the same session, amending the procedure for votes of no confidence established by the March reforms, which were described vaguely in the constitution itself and thus clarified in ordinary Reichstag bills, citing the necessity for cabinet stability under the fractured nature of the current Reichstag. Schleicher pushed for a system of constructive no-confidence vote. A no-confidence vote on the government may only be voted for and pass if a replacement candidate for Reichskanzler is proposed by the same people. This proposed replacement candidate is then recommended to the Kaiser, though he still has full power to choose whoever he wants. This has delayed any no-confidence vote towards Schleicher by making sure that the SPD and DVLP could not just band together and remove whoever they wish. Though it does not mean that they have given up just yet. The parliamentary parties now just need to build a critical mass in the Reichstag to push through the choice. This is rather unorthodox. Game-based stability 2%, popularity of authoritarian democracy 3%, the Arbeitsschlacht completed, constructive no-confidence principle completed. The battle over the chancellorship of Kurf von Schleicher begins. See the decisions tab. The cabinet Schleicher category for further instructions. The Forest Brothers Uprising. The paralysis of the Central Community in Riga and the economic crash has given Latvian and Estonian partisans in the United Baltic Duchy an opportunity to rebel against the duchy. Livland has suffered the brunt of the developing rebellion, and the land administrators there report that they cannot control the countryside, as the law enforcement agencies have been overrun by ad hoc partisan organizations and underground resistance groups. Supported by local farmers and defectors from the Duchy's army, these so-called Forest Brothers are wreaking havoc and seeking to completely overthrow German rule in the Baltics. Riga has requested we send a detachment of temporary military police force to the Duchy to help them in their fight against the Baltic separatists. Should the Duchy collapse, it would be disastrous for not only German pride and standing in Europe, but also our defensive plans against Russia. National security matters, nothing is too costly. We shall ensure the Duchy survives. Limited support, but will not guarantee. Okay, let's ensure they survive. So, let's see this. Black Monday. It's time to duel. The Black Monday trading card game is a turn-based game during which you must play against the crisis and defeat it in a match of wits and strategy. Every 30 days you will draw a hand from the deck of cards, including 3 types: relief, recovery, and reform. Okay, these cards can boost one another, draw more cards, give you advantages, or simple deal investment and stability score. Simple deal investment and stability score. Your attack and defense. Investment is attack, stability is defense. Okay, at the end of the round, you must surpass the crisis, stagnation, and economic decline, while also being aware of the mounting toll this takes on your debt. Current crisis is a liquidity crisis. Money creation cards will be more effective. The ongoing crisis changes every round of Black Monday. Each type has different strengths and weaknesses against relief card types and comes with economic decline and stagnation scores. We currently have a modifier of plus 100 to our stability. Okay. So how do I see our plus 1 card be added? Okay. Stagnation is 2250. Economic decline 2500. So what's this? Cooperative with business. 2 cards will be drawn from deck. Plus 1% added to debt score. Capital control cards will be more effective. Form. Add price monitoring, which grants political power again. Stability, okay. 400, 200. This is, I don't know, oil demanded. Probably something. Okay, let's go with assistance from Eastern Reichspact. Okay. Then we can 2 cards will be drawn from the deck. Okay. Capital control. Okay, capital control is stronger here. Okay. That's nice. 3,400. Okay. This is kind of a cool. That's a cool concept to have. Just like a Black Monday card game. That's cool. Cabinet Schleicher, okay. Target. MVP will be flagged as a protected faction. Any attempts to convert it to their side this turn will automatically fail. This battle in Reichstag, both of the parliamentary coalitions will attempt to convert one of a few possible options every 30 days. While the player is able to flag certain factions every turn to make them immune to being converted. If a coalition reaches a majority, they will initiate a vote of no confidence and seize power. As Schleicher, you must stay in power as long as possible and have access to a focus tree branch to aid you in doing so. The composition of the Reichstag is follows. Far left parties, SPD. Can't target that, so let's target the Centrum. Centrum right. That's like the... So we are giving it Schleicher. There's no... Okay. So let's go Centrum left. Right, that's 29. Left. And the LVP left. Okay. Okay. We can't do anything. I won't do anything here. Okay. Choosing the Vice Chancellor. Officially known as the General Deputy of the Reichskanzler, the Vice Chancellor may be appointed at the request of the Reichskanzler. He is able to follow the duties of the Reichskanzler and countersign imperial orders and decrees in the Reichskanzler's stead, and generally holds considerable influence in the collegial federal government. Traditionally, the Vice Chancellor also serves as the Secretary of the Interior. although this is not an ironclad rule. During coalition governments in the empire, the Vice Chancellor is generally given to the most important coalition partner of the Reichskanzler. For Schleicher, this is an issue as he is an outsider of the Reichstag and seeks to work beyond the partisan barrier, but it also gives an opportunity. By tactically appointing a delegate of the bordersome ideological wing, he can satiate them for a time and spend that time furthering his agenda. An independent, not partisan, yet generally conservative official, such as Tilo von Wilmowski, would be seen as an act of trust by the conservatives in the Reichstag. On the other hand, a member of the right wing of the SPD, such as August Winnig, would ensure that Schleicher's government reinforces its pretense as a red general's government and grants some assurances to the SPD. Alternatively, it is possible to simply leave the office of Vice Chancellor vacant. This would forego opportunities for building cross-connection, but it would consolidate even more power in the heads of Reichskanzler. What will be Schleicher's decision? This is draw your regime closer to the right, and it will affect the direction of the regime as well as its perception among the people. To the left, okay, centralizing step, and it will affect the direction of the regime as well as its perception. Okay, central, let's go right. Okay. Rising worker militancy. It had been anticipated ever since the February market crash, but it has now become clear. The breakdown of the German economy has greatly bolstered the far left of the political spectrum. Socialist propaganda has swept up thousands of workers across the nation, offering an easy answer to the confusion of many workers thrown out of their jobs because of factors they could not control. It is because the illusion of prosperity and the bourgeois, the Junkers and the Kaisers at the top maintained has shattered. The final hour of international capitalism is at hand, so make sure to stand in line and hoist the red flag. The German far-left parties are generally small and fractured, and though they are not banned, they are only somewhat tolerated by the political establishment. After years of splits and reunions, the Communist Workers' Party of Germany, KAPD, has garnered most of the socialist share. Though supportive of French-style syndicalism, the KAPD holds some reservations, believing that trade unions in Germany have become hopelessly reformist, and so the revolutionary vanguard must be factory councils of workers, hence council communism. The Communist Party of Germany, KPD, is also prominent, distinguished by the fact that they participate in electoral politics unlike their cousins. In spite of bad blood between the numerous factions of the far left, they find the strength to cooperate from time to time, and today is one of those cases. The KAPD, KPD, and their aligned trade unions are planning a mass demonstration in Berlin on International Workers' Day, May 1st, and expect to be joined by similar events in the Rhineland and Saxony. This is not good. 1% syndicalism to -2% stability. Prussia and the Reichskanzler. For the first few decades after the formation of the German Empire, the Reichskanzler and the Minister President of Prussia were the same person and were considered to be the same position by many in practice. This was because the Emperor, as King of Prussia, generally preferred to keep the two positions consolidated, and it has also perpetuated Prussian dominance over the empire. This state of affairs changed after the Weltkrieg for two reasons. First, the March reforms to the constitution introduced a vote of no confidence in the Reichskanzler, allowing the Reichstag to control him and possibly remove him, which implicitly meant that the Reichstag could now remove a Prussian minister-president. Second is Matthias Erzberg, a liberal Southern Catholic, becoming Reichskanzler in 1921, which infuriated the Prussian House of Representatives. After being petitioned to do something by the Prussian legislators, Wilhelm II ultimately acceded and appointed Bill Drews as the first independent Prussian minister-president. Since then, an uneasy system of dual rule has formed in the empire. Prussia controls 70% of the empire's population and territory, and as it now has its own government, cooperation between it and the federal government, or lack thereof, can rescue or bury a Chancellor, Reichskanzler. However, as tension within the Prussian Grand Coalition grows, Vice Chancellor Schleicher has spoken out against the system. In this critical moment, the empire must have one head, not two. It needs to consolidate its resources. Being a respected official from Prussia, Schleicher has the potential to become the first Vice Chancellor to also be the Prussian Minister President in over a decade, which will put Prussia's resources, influence, and law enforcement under his direct control, for better or worse. His decision will be to trust Rodon, he is a political veteran, request to be appointed Minister President of Prussia. Let's request, why not? Delegation Council votes on providing aid to Sichuan province. Sichuan. Where is Sichuan? Left Komintag. Sichuan. Am I Sichuan? I mean, abstain. I don't know. Okay, wait for this to happen. Okay. Schleicher appointed Prussian Minister President. Great. Under the advice of his advisors, Wilhelm II, as King of Prussia, has accepted Schleicher's petition and appointed him as a new Minister President of Prussia. The move has generally received negative reactions from the Prussian legislature and has been decried on the left as a threatening expansion of Schleicher's power. However, most of the political establishment accepts the decision without much fanfare. On his opening speech before the Prussian House of Representatives, Schleicher stated that he intends to maintain the spirit of cooperation fostered by his predecessor, Siegfried von Roden, and his first action will be to establish and expand work relief programs across the kingdom. Back to tradition. Nice. Okay. The vote passes. Okay. Blutmai. In response to growing militancy of the German workers and citing previous sporadic cases of violence during the electoral campaign, the police force of Berlin issued a ban on open-air political gatherings in the city during May 1st, aiming to prevent the planned May Day demonstrations. This did not deter far-left activists, however, and even emboldened some. These restrictions appear to affirm that the political party line of the KPD that capitalism has entered its third period, and so will respond to workers' movements with more and more draconian force. Demonstrations took place across the city. Rough tallies of the numbers show that threats of police violence balanced out the growing socialist membership, meaning that the size of the KPD and KPD gatherings were hardly larger than normal. Still, Berlin police responded with force, sending out flying squads and attacking with trenches wherever demonstrations were reported. Even the lawful conventions such as SPD and the liberal trade union assemblies were mistaken for socialist protests and attacked. Street combat broke out in the socialist-dominated Wedding district, but it was one-sided and only served to escalate police response. Live rounds were fired upon KPD demonstrations and over 30 people were killed by the end of the day. Around 200 were injured and 1,200 were arrested by the police. Distribution of Kommunistische Arbeiterzeitung was curtailed in the aftermath to suppress the casualty numbers. But the message spread across the nation nonetheless, and further inflamed friction between the government and the labor movement. The events were largely viewed positively by the right wing of the Reichstag, while the liberals and the SPD were more divided. In particular, while the SPD newspapers Forwards produced a skating piece stating that the KPD was seeking to intentionally sacrifice supporters' lives. The Social Democratic delegation in the Reichstag officially protested the actions of Berlin policemen and demanded an investigation. Their demands fell on deaf ears, however, while tensions continued to rise. -2, -30. Okay. Labor crisis. The current crisis in a labor crisis. Work creation. Don't have work creation. Let's draw 2 cards. Nothing. Do I have one more? Okay. Let's go with radio. Work creation. I don't have work creation. Draw 2 cards. Money issuing and no work creation. Greece seizes German assets. Thanks to the rippling effects of Black Monday, German investors who held majority shares in Greek factories and mines have been closing those businesses down. In some cases because they're unprofitable, but in others because the investors have gone bankrupt. The Greek government has responded by seizing the companies, despite the Treaty of Salonika signed after the war stipulating that our investors have unfettered access to their economy. Many in the government are suggesting we respond harshly and not only apply sanctions but pull all investment out of Greece altogether. Others say the country is only trying to stay afloat. Black Monday has hit all of us hard. Let's not do sanctions. Maybe they go... Maybe then they won't go... Leave them be, okay. Maybe they won't go for the left path, for the syndicalist path. The fall of Eastern Railway. The Polish railway network manager of the KKWIP, I'm not reading that, is largely owned by a German subsidiary of the whatever this is, a Prussian government railway company. This arrangement has secured German oversight over the vital transportation route to the Oststaaten, but also required considerable funding to keep the route operable for major military deployments to the east. With a dramatically reduced need for traffic and cuts to the KP whatever budget, the railway's fate is now uncertain. With thousands of railway workers unemployed, the Polish government is under tremendous pressure to buy the corporation out from the Prussian hands. This would result in the Poles taking care of the little financial losses, but our military question how safe it would be to entrust the Poles with the ownership of the most vital route in Middle Europe. Save it. It's a matter of national security. German-Polish railway bailed out by Germany. Yep. I think we need that. Because what if Poland goes? But I don't think they will. Compensation for the Preußische Ostbahn. A number of major businessmen in Ukraine have come together in state-sponsored plan to buy the majority shares of the Prussian Eastern Railways, a subsidiary of the Prussian state railway company which operates the majority of the railways in Ukraine. With this transaction, the ownership of the railway is transferred to Ukrainian Railway Corporation, that ultimately failed with a sizable portion of German private ownership. Alright. Plus 50 political power, nice. That's good. Let's go with dispersed. Always dispersed. Okay. Let's target the left central. Let's target central. Okay. Mother's Day. Ever since US Congress designated the second Sunday of May as Mother's Day in 1914 as a sign of love and reverence for the mothers of the world, this American tradition has slowly gained traction across the Atlantic. After the end of the Weltkrieg, the Association of German Flower Shop Owners took advantage of this as a marketing tactic, promoting the date to raise flower sales in May. The liturgical emphasis on the original vision of the holiday also earned support of religious conservative groups, who considered it a viable alternative to International Women's Day, initiated by socialist organizations. Movement calling for making it an official holiday earned traction in the German Empire in the 1920s and 1930s. Alongside business owners, conservative societies and women's rights activists, the campaign in Germany was also endorsed by folklish groups who connected the idea of Mother's Day with their far-right ideal of a loyal childbearing mother who is the future of the Germanic master race. The appointment of Kurt von Schleicher, a patriotic nationalist rights chancellor, who nevertheless displays a progressive streak, has uplifted the hopes of this activist campaign, and numerous letters have reached Berlin, requesting him to finally make Mother's Day a national holiday. The empire has seen better days, but perhaps a small propaganda victory will cause no harm. Let future generation know that Schleicher respects women more than anyone. The mothers can wait, the country is nearing collapse. Okay, let's go with changing popularity of authoritarian democracy 2%. Yeah, I'll take the power. Okay, what's this? Money creation. We have money issuing. Okay. Negotiate happen. Will this? I don't know. Inflation weaponry / welfare funding. Okay. Der Raffinau-Plan. Draft Plan Tarnobade. Social economics. I don't know. What's this? It's kind of a huge domain in the high castle. Maybe a few years later. Okay. This is so complex. I just can't. Let's go with negotiate debt restructuring. Go with this. So this takes money creation. Let's take money. Money creation, please give me money creation. No money creation, okay. 1,700. 400, 200. No, I can't. 2,000 and 1,000. You play this. Stability. 1,000. Okay, this card is 50% more effective because it is a money creation. Nice. We need still need this full. Yep, now we win, right? Okay, this is nothing. This is nothing. Leadership changes in the center. Times could different be better for the Centrum party, the main representation of Catholic interest in German parliamentary politics. After many years of aimless leadership under the moderate Rhenish wing, Two mediocre elections results in 1931 and 1936 and the collapse of several government cabinets with Centrum participation over the course of the last few years. Centrum chairman Theodor von Gerard has officially announced his retreat from the leadership of his party. A party conference, the first in many years, is due to be called in the near future, and politically interested observers are convinced that it will be one of fierce party internal confrontations. Throughout the last decade, new factions within Germany's oldest political party have sprung up like mushrooms and are willing to seize power and lead the party onto a new political course. But the question will be, what political wing will come out on top? Who will lead the Catholic juggernaut next? While Centrum remains in a succession crisis, no Centrum factions can be protected from targeted attempts by opposition coalitions. Without clear leadership, Centrum parliamentarians can ignore the party whips and freely negotiate with the SPD or the far right for a better deal. Okay. Left will be successfully targeted. Minority bloc, Centrum left. Okay. And minority bloc. These guys want DKP. Centrum right. Okay. Coalition Schwarz-White Road. Okay. We are fine with that. Okay. I think this is a perfect time to end this episode. So, I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.